So in yesterday's session, we were discussing about Sharpe's optimal portfolio. So in today's session also, we will complete this particular aspect of Sharpe's optimal portfolio. Then we will be completing with the fourth unit of portfolio construction. Okay. So in yesterday's class, we had seen this particular formula and we have also completed this particular chart of calculation, okay, as per the formula which is being stated to calculate CI, okay. So in today's session, we will see the calculation of CI and the proportion of investment that an investor can make out of maximum proportion of investment and the lowest amount of investment. Okay, so that we are going to calculate with the help of CI, and then we are going to calculate the proportion of investment. Now this is a particular problem which has got selecting the portfolio without short sales. So after this, we will take up a particular problem wherein we have to select the portfolio with short sales. Okay, more or less we have to follow the same procedure, but there are certain changes that we have to take into account when we are going to calculate optimal portfolio with short sales. Okay. So I hope this particular chart calculation of the values that are inserted in this particular table, it is clear. Now we will write, the formula is already being typed, okay, in this particular document. And accordingly, we are going to make use of this particular table which is drawn to insert the values, because these are the values, that is this table, summation Ri minus Rf divided by residual variance into beta, as well as summation of beta I square divided by residual variance. So these are the two columns which is very important, because we have done all possible calculations that is required as per the formula, as you can see here. Okay, so whatever the values are calculated, straight away we are going to insert it one by one. Okay, so this particular table is going to reduce the tedious task of inserting all the values in the formula, okay? And that is why separate bifurcations are being made in the form of various different columns as per the requirement of the formula, okay? Now, if you can see in the particular problem, we are having the securities ranging from A to H. Am I not audible to others?
Audible, ma'am.
Audible, ma'am.
Ma'am,
You're audible.
yes, but I can see Neha M. She is saying that there is no sound only yet. I guess there might be some problem from her side.
Ma'am, we need to do that join over internet.
Sorry?
Ma'am, we need to do that. We need to click on join over internet so that we can hear your voice.
Okay, you can just put that
It
in
is
the
there
chat
on the
box.
left hand side corner.
Shraddha, you just put that into the chat box. Okay? Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
So once we have typed this formula in the document, we are going to use this particular table to insert the values. Now, what is the formula here? Why are we calculating CI here? We are calculating CI because we want to find out the cutoff point or the cutoff rate, and all the values above the cutoff rates will be taken for calculating the optimal portfolio or for selection of the portfolio, and later for the proportion of investment. That is the reason we have to calculate CI. And what is the CI here? It is for each of the securities, ranging from A up till H. Okay. So now we are going to insert here, in place of I, it is going to be security A. And what is this variance of market index? That is already given in the problem as the market index variance is 12% and the risk-free rate of return is 7%. Okay. Now market index variance is already given. So we are straight away going to insert it as 12 into. Now we have to insert the value for summation Ri minus Rf, okay, divided by residual variance into beta I. So I guess this was the mistake that was happened. Okay, so I'll just correct it here. It is into beta I divided by residual variance, the whole divided by 1 plus variance of market index summation beta I square divided by residual variance. So 12 into Now this value we are going to find in the third column, which we have already calculated here. Summation Ri minus Rf divided by residual variance into beta I. At the same time, we are going to use this fifth column, that is summation beta I square divided by residual variance. Now we are going to insert these values. Now 12 into 0.42, which we have already calculated in the problem, divided by 1 plus market index variance is 12 into 0.028, that is summation beta square divided by residual variance. So 12 into 0.2 divided by 1 plus 12, 1 is constant value which is given in the formula. So 12 into 0.028. So once you multiply the value of numerator 12 into 0.42, you will get 5.04 divided by 12 into 0.028 plus 1, you will get 1.336. So 5.04 divided by 1.336 will give you the value 3.77. So this is the value of security A, that is 3.77. So subsequently we are going to calculate for rest of the securities from security B up till security H. So now CI, that is for security B, again the market variance index will remain as it is 12 into 1.5, which we have already calculated in this particular table. So we are going to insert that into the formula. 1.5 into divided by 1 plus again market index variance is 12 into 0.236 that we find in this particular last column, that is summation beta I square divided by residual variance. Okay. So after substitution, 12 into 1.5 will give you 18 divided by 12 into 0.236 plus 1 will give you 3.832 is equal to 4.69. So I request student to just cross verify the calculation. If there are any change in the values, you can just put that in the chat box. Okay. Now we are going to calculate it for security C. 12 into 1.92. We are going to extract the value from the table here. 1.92 divided by 1 plus 12 into 0.36. This is the value that we are going to take, 0.326. And then when we substitute, 12 into 1.92 is 23.04 divided by 12 into 0.326 plus 1 will give you 4.912. So the final value is 4.690. So in the same way for D, E, F, G and H. So for D, 12 into 2.057. I guess that changes, we have to do it here. 2.057 divided by 1 plus 12 into, here it is 0.338. So even the values will change here. So 12 into 2.057, 24.68, and then 12 into 0.338 equals plus 1, 5.056. So 24.68 divided by 5.056 will give us 4.88. Okay. Next we have for security E 2.42. Okay, this is correct. Divided by 1 plus 12 into 0.37. Well, into 0.37 plus 1, 5.44, 5.33. Okay. Next, for security F, 12 into 3.02, it is correct, divided by 0.514. So 12 into 0.514 equals plus 1, 7.168. So 36.24 divided by 7.168, 5.05. Next, for security G, 3.79, and then 0.616. 0.616. Okay. So 12 into 0.616 equals plus 1, 8.392. So 45.48 divided by 8.392, 5.42 you can take. And last one, for security H, 12 into 4.46, and here it is 0.747. Okay, this is correct. All right. So these were some of the changes, because in security D there was change in the value over here. Okay, and that is why it has reflected for the subsequent securities. Now once we have calculated CI, so here it is simple. Once we prepare the table as per the requirement of the formula, and we have already calculated the values, okay, for summation Ri minus Rf divided by residual variance into beta I, which is required for the formula in the numerator here, as well as the values that are required for the denominator. Okay. Only thing is, the value of market index variance had to be inserted for numerator and denominator, and that we had to multiply it. Okay. So these are the values. Now these values are very important for us to find out the cutoff point. That is the last values that you're getting: 4.690, 4.88, 5.33, 5.05, 5.42, and 5.37. Now what is important aspect here? In this case, how do we find the cutoff here? Okay, we are having given CA and CB 3.77 and 4.69. Now based on these values, the highest CI value is the cutoff point, which is named as C star. Okay. Now when you see all these values, the highest value is falling for security G, that is 5.42. Now this 5.42 will be taken as cutoff rate, and all the values which are above this cutoff rate, now above the cutoff rate in sense, right from security A up till security F, okay, including this C star, all these securities will be taken into consideration for selecting the optimal portfolio. And all the values which are below, after the cutoff rate, it means the values are falling. Okay, so in that case we are not going to consider these values. Okay, so all the values which are above the cutoff rate should be considered. Okay, so that is what is given here. The highest CI value is the cutoff point, that is C star. So the stocks that have ranked above C star will have higher excess returns to beta than the cutoff CI, and all the stocks ranked above C star have low excess returns to, below C star have low excess return to beta. So here the cutoff rate is 5.43, and hence the first 7 securities are to be selected. So here I will change the value here. It is 5.42. Okay. So I hope up till here, if it is clear, then we will move on to the construction of the optimal portfolio. That will be the final part for selection of securities. So if any student is having any doubt up till here, if it is clear, I will move ahead towards construction of the optimal portfolio. You can just put that into the chat box. If I can move ahead. Okay, so Madhura is having a question with regard to G is the optimal security. Yes, because this is a cutoff point which we are going to consider, and all the securities above, including G, will be considered, and the values which are below the security G will be considered as low excess beta ratio. Okay, and that is the reason we are not going to consider it. Student, I'll just pause for a minute. Okay. So even G is optimal because including the cutoff point, we are going to take all the securities, and H will not be considered because it is not falling under cutoff point, that is below the cutoff point. Okay. Now we will move on to the construction of optimal portfolio. Here we have to consider another formula to find out the proportion of investment. Now in this case, the reason for construction of optimal portfolio is, now the portfolio manager has to find out how much will be invested in each security. And once it is being selected, so proportion of investment is going to be either 50 each for both the securities, or 60 for one security which would be considered as the highest investment, and 40% on the other security which would be lowest compared to first and second. So for that reason we have to find out the proportion of investment. So the percentage of funds to be invested in each security can be calculated as follows. So that is all about calculation of proportion of investment. Now this is the formula to calculate the proportion of investment. Now xi is nothing but, this is going to be the symbol for proportion of investment, and I is going to be with regard to the number of securities. It can be A, B, C subsequently that we are going to calculate. Okay, so that proportion of investment is calculated as Zi divided by, this is also important, summation of Zi. Now summation is going to be all the securities that we have selected above the cutoff point. Okay, so first we have to calculate Zi. Okay, so Zi, the formula is beta I divided by residual variance into Ri minus Rf divided by beta minus C star. Now what is C star here? The C star is the value of the cutoff rate. So this we have to remember the formula for Zi. And then how are we going to insert the values in the formula? Each of these Zi value, that is of A, B, C, D individual securities, divided by summation of all the securities that are taken above the cutoff point. Okay. So this formula is important, and accordingly we will substitute the values here. Now the beta for security A. So when you can see this particular, this table is going to be of utmost use when we are going to insert the values in the formula. Now for security A, the beta, yes, we will take this from the problem. The security for the beta for security A is 1.0. So that we will insert it here. 1 divided by residual variance is 35 into Ri is nothing but expected return, which is already given in the formula, that is Ri minus Rf divided by beta here. Okay, so Ri minus Rf, that is 22, minus 7 is risk-free rate of return, that will give us 15. Okay, divided by beta is 1. Okay, so that will remain 15 minus C star. C star is nothing but for security G, which is the cutoff rate. So here it is 5.42. So I have to change the values for each of the security here. So 15 minus 5.42 equals, you will get 9.58, 0.273. So it will not make any much difference here. Okay. Here you will get recurring as 0.2737. If you want, you can make it as 4, not a problem. In the same way, we are going to calculate the value of Z, okay, for securities up till G. We are not taking H. Why are we not taking H here? Because it is below the cutoff rate, and that is why we are not going to consider. But this assumption is going to hold good when we are going to calculate the next aspect of the problem with short sales. So that is going to be a major difference between calculation of Sharpe's optimal portfolio without short sales and with short sales. Okay. Now accordingly, we have to take the beta for security B is 2.5 divided by 30 is residual variance minus Ri minus Rf divided by beta I. So this column is going to help us for Ri minus Rf divided by beta I. So that is 5.2 we have directly inserted here. So 5.2 minus 5.42. So you will get the values in terms of minus here. That is minus 0.22. So here you get minus 0.018. Now whenever it is minus, it means you are going to have a negative returns. So definitely in a later point of time when we are calculating summation here, the negative values will not be considered. So that care we have to take. Next, when it comes for security C here, 5.42. So 4.67 minus 5.42 is minus 0.75. So 0.045. So this is correct. Next for D, 1.0 divided by 80. So here having 7.33 minus 5.42, you will get 1.91. 0.123. So it is 87 recurring, you can take it as 0.24. So the same way here, 11.25 minus 5.42. The one who is joined, mute your audio. So 11.50 minus 5.42, that is 5.83, 0.283. Okay. Next, 4.16 minus 5.42 minus 1.26. So these values will remain as it is. Okay. So after we have calculated this, so the meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay. So once we have calculated the values for ZA up till ZG, now what we are supposed to do? We have to suppose to insert the values which we have calculated in the formula of xi is equal to zi divided by summation n t is equal to 1 xi. So first we have to calculate the summation of zi. Now when we are calculating the summation of zi for each of the securities that we have taken above the cutoff rates, we are not going to consider those values which has got negative values. Now definitely when it is negative, it is going to it will not be an optimal portfolio, and that is why those values which have got positive, it means it will have a better return in the portfolio, and when it is negative, it means it is the risk is comparatively higher than that of returns. Now when you observe for security B, C as well as for F, so these are the three securities which we are not going to consider for summation of XZI to calculate the proportion of investment, and that is why we are just going to take 0.274 plus 0.024 plus 0.233 plus 0.132. So we are just going to take summation of these 0.274 plus 0.024 plus 0.233 plus 0.132. So the summation is going to be 0.663 here. Okay. So I just want to ask students if we can just connect back once the meeting gets over for another 15-20 minutes, so that we will just complete this particular unit for today. So that from Monday we can start with fresh of 5th unit. So if you are fine with it, then we can connect back. So Netra Patil, what are you asking about denominator, or what is that you are asking?
Ma'am, in this formula, ma'am, Ri minus Rf divided by Bi is in bracket, or ma'am, C star is in place of denominator or whole minus C, ma'am.
Okay, so you're getting confused with this. I will just,
Yes, ma'am.
it is whole here. See here, just a minute. Ri minus Rf divided by beta I. This is 1 minus C star. I'll just place it.
Means this answer minus C star, no, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
So it is going to be like this. Wait.
Understood, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So Ri minus Rf divided by beta I minus C star. It is going to be like this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is going to be the summation. I have just taken positive. We cannot take the negative values here because it is going to show a negative returns on the investment. Okay. Now what are we going to do? We are going to straight away place the values for XI. If you want, you can write the formula once again down here. So these changes, I'll do it later. So it is Xi is equal to Zi divided by summation Xi Zi, and this is N is going to be for all of the securities that are taken with positive returns here. Now when I consider this here, XA, that is 0.273 or 0.274 here, divided by 0.663. This will give us the proportion of investment that we can make for security A, 0.274 divided by 0.663 into 100. So that is 41.3% only you will get. Okay. And then All right. Okay. So now when we have taken for security ZA up till G, we can do one thing. Where I have just taken calculation for, I guess there is some mistake that is being done here. I have calculated for all the securities that is not visible anyways. We will do it here. Now this is for proportion of security A. Now when you consider for security B, we are not going to have proportion of investment because the value is in negative. The same goes for C, we cannot calculate. For D, I have done here. That is 0.024 divided by 0.662. So here it is 3.47. Okay. Now next we are going to calculate for so after D, we are having E. So we are going to calculate as XE here. Now for the value of E is 0.233. Divided by 633 into 100. So we will calculate for this. Into 100, 35.1%, 0.1%. Okay. Next, after E, we cannot calculate for F, then we will go for G. So students, this meeting will end in a minute. So if you say that, we will connect back, else we have to take the problem on short sales on Monday. So let me know if you're joining back. I will send the link, else we will continue it on Monday. ZD value should be 0.069. Okay, I'll just check. So you need to connect back once the meeting is ended here. For security, D it has to be 0.069.